Good, Mike.
What's
Talk
happening,
to the people.
man? What's up, everybody? Hope everybody had a good 2025. Hope y'all ready for the holidays. I still got some Christmas shopping to do.
So tell me, how did you first get into boxing, Mike?
When I was like 4 years old, my brother was playing football, and then some people said, "Yo, we found this boxing gym, man. We about to go check it out tomorrow." And me, my dad, my brother, we was just like, "Yeah, we gonna come with y'all." And it was Hillcrest. It was Hillcrest Boxing, where Nesto Coach Nesto trains now. At the time we was training with Mr. McCann. He passed away in 2013. But that's what we started. That's what we started our boxing careers. So um, we all went with them, but when it all came down to it, me and my brother the only ones that stayed. So that's what we have been at it since.
Okay. So can you tell us about your first amateur tournament?
First amateur tournament was Silver Gloves. I fought a kid named Lawrence Singh. He don't, I don't think he boxes no. Well, no, he doesn't. He doesn't box anymore. But fought Lawrence Singh, and he was actually I fought him my first three fights, and I beat him. I think that was done for the Silver Gloves. We weren't old enough to travel yet, but I beat him. He had a few more fights than me and things like that. He had beat me the first two times, so and then I beat him the next two times, and we were close in size. So back in that time, everybody was fighting a lot. Like I fought him a bunch of times. I fought like Lamont Roach like 5 times, Tank Davis like 3 times. Um, so yeah, just back in that time it was easier to make amateur fights happen. Now it's become a little bit difficult just because I feel like everybody want to be a promoter, and it's just like, dog, just put a show on, see who shows up, match these kids up so they can get the experience.
Right. Um, nowadays it's saying like, I noticed that back in the day, a lot of guys from the area, they didn't mind mixing it up more often. You know what I mean? I know this is something I gained flack for early. About matching certain names up too soon, or like just even pinning guys in the area. Like not necessarily like that wasn't my intention, but I more so just I was intrigued by certain. When you get around these guys, you start to wonder. Especially from a boxing fan perspective, they not understand. I'm not looking at it from DMV perspective, but DC, Maryland, Virginia. I'm more so looking at it from a boxing fan perspective. So it's like if I see two guys in the same weight class or around the same weight class, it's not that I'm saying, oh yeah, because y'all both from this area, y'all should face each other. It's just when I start matching certain names up against each other, I was just curious, you know what I mean? Because I'm looking at the rankings. I'm looking at who y'all got in front of y'all. It don't seem like the matchups will be as intense as fighting each other. You know what I mean? But I just see that in the area, you don't see that as often, or it starts like friction with the promoters and the fighters when you talk out of turn, I guess, or speak on certain matchups.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. Yeah, but I mean, the thing about it is now, I mean, there was a time where like the fighters kind of fought each other, or didn't like, well, they fought each other to kind of get out of the area, and that predates my time as a professional. Probably my time as a professional. I just say that, but it was just but. When they were fighting like that, it caused a little bit of friction and distrust and things like that. It's like, nah, we're not going over there to spar. You might have to spar that dude. You might have to fight that dude. And the thing like that is, we could do that, but if we were to do that, who are we going to call to help prepare for the rest of the world? You know what I mean?
Right.
The day when like the day is going to come when two guys get to a certain level and they fight. Like look at how Lamont Roach and Tank Davis fought. They fought for a world title, and both of them fought for millions of dollars. I mean, that's the perfect scenario. That's the perfect scenario. It went exact that played out. That fantasy played out in real life, and that's how it's kind of supposed to happen. But like, if I'm looking to fight, uh, if I'm looking to fight Jaleel Hackett or Dave Whitmire or somebody like that, I'm
Right.
gonna go to get good sparring. Then it makes them then it makes the whole area jive tense, like where sides get picked and people draw lines in the sand and things like that. When in reality is, man, we're better together, and it's a big enough world at the level that a lot of us are at right now, where we ain't got to fight each other. All these different platforms are showing up. OTX, the Zone, OTX, the Zone, ProBox, PBC, Top Rank is about to find another streaming network. It's guys to fight around the world. You got, as long as you guys are willing to leave your backyard. A lot of guys, they aren't always ready to take tough fights. Tough fights require you to go in and be on the B side and try to make something happen. Y'all right? I'd rather go in on the B side than cut somebody's legs from under them that's from the area.
Let me ask you, Mike, like, how did you get so knowledgeable about the sport? Because, that's one thing that always stood out to me watching, like, your commentation, like, you know what I mean? And the way you speak about other fighters and the way you can break down a fight, you know what I mean? That always stood out to me. And it just intrigued me to want to know, like, how did you get such an IQ?
It's just the time we spent in the sport, like from the amateurs to the pros. When I was an amateur, I was watching the pros that were fighting. I was watching Lamont Peterson, Anthony Peterson, Tony Thompson, guys like that. Chop Chop, and then my brother turned pro 3 years before I turned pro, and I got to sit and I probably avoided a lot of valleys in the during my journey, just from learning. My brother learned, my father learned, and I got to sit. They learned with firsthand experience, and I got to sit back. I was always along for the ride, so it was things I could see. I'm always, I'm just always I have always studied the sport. I think my dad kind of ingrained that early on, and I didn't appreciate it when I was a kid. I just was like, I'll just either go into the gym. If I went in the gym, I would be, playing PlayStation, doing whatever, or doing something outside of boxing. Then I started watching TV. I started watching fights and breaking and like just breaking down fights in my head. And I'd listen to the commentators and be like, "That's not the fight I see. Whatever he's talking about, that's not the fight I see right now." Or I agree with the scores that such and such has. So it's just always been a thing of just watching. You just watch, and then you learn. When you watch, you learn, and then I when I turned pro, I got my own firsthand experience. It all helped, but I had a knowledge by this time. I had a knowledgeable trainer to help guide me through places that like a fight like that my brother might have went to, and we learned from like every time out. We just learned.
Right, right, right. So, I like, spawn some of these guys, you know what I mean? Like the Lamont Roaches and the Tank Davises and people like that. Like, do you feel like they always called you up when they knew they had to deal with somebody like, they had more height on them, or it was just like, it's just gonna be good work either way, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, in the beginning, well, no, I say yeah. Like once by the time we turned pro, I was like at least about 6'3" and a half, 6'4". I'm about 6'4" and a half, 6'5" now, uh, but by the time we were pro, it was we got a southpaw. We'll call Mike. If it's taller than us and we got a southpaw, yeah, call Mike. Like that's what my career has been like. The first time I went out to a training camp was when Tank was getting ready for Barrios. Barrios was staying conventional, but he was significantly taller
Tank.
than Tank. Yeah, yeah, significantly taller than Tank. But I'm a good height. I'm a good amount taller than Barrios. So like Coach Kenny was like, man, it'd be real good for this fight. Fox, man, we gotta see if we can get Fox over here. Calvin like, yeah, you're right, Kenny. They called my father. My father called me like, you want to go out to camp in Vegas with Tank? I said, yeah, bet. And then they
That,
flew.
so so just being just giving out good work and spawn just allowed you to be able to travel around the world as well, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like I went to Vegas a couple times. I went to Vegas for Tank's camp versus Barrios. When Brian Mendoza knocked out Sebastian Fundora, I was his sparring partner. I was Tim Zoo's sparring partner for both of the fights with Fundora. And then before the fight got canceled, I flew down to Florida to spar with Keith Thurman. So I mean, I got my own niche as far as that goes. Like so long as Fundora is a boxer and as long as Fundora is active, I won't need to necessarily retire. You know what I mean? I fly to these different places. They pay me. I get good looks, get different looks, and then I'm signed to Jetta Promotions, so I'm fighting, I'm staying active, and I'm still building still getting my career still moving. So I'm just grateful for all the opportunities. I spent a month in Australia with Tim Zoo, so that was a cool life experience. That just goes beyond boxing.
Right.
A lot of people can't say they've been to Australia.
No, that's real. So when you look at somebody like a Sebastian Fundora, is that ever a matchup you feel as though you would personally want yourself?
I would love that fight. I think it just there's a novelty to it, just in the sense of like you got two of the tallest guys, like two of the tallest non-heavyweight fighters around, and they're both matched up with each other. I mean, it has a novelty to it, but apart from that, I'm a competitor. And I would, I'm at 154, and I'm doing my best to work my way up into the rankings so I can get an opportunity like that. Um, but I know by this time words gets around now where it's like, yo, call that Fox dude, call that Michael Fox dude, because I'm like one of the only people that people know about that can actually give bring the size that they need, like as far as the height.
Has it ever
Like,
been hard for you to, make 154?
no, not yet. It's been I just moved up to 54 because I wasn't getting a lot of opportunities at 47. 47 was getting a little difficult to make the weight. But I still feel like I might could make it, but instead of just stressing my body, and maybe potentially weakening myself, we go up to 54. I already fought Sergey Boychuk, one of the top, he's one of the top junior middleweights. He missed weight when we fought, so, I still was able to compete with him. I put him down. They didn't count it, but yeah, I'm good at 54. I'll stay here a while.
Okay. So when you was at 47, you know what I mean? Like, was the matchmaking hard? You know what I mean? Just getting
Yes.
guys in there, knowing you already came in with a height advantage. I asked you because Keon Davis told me it been kind of tough with him. So, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I see he's a bit tall as well. That's not somebody you sparred before, is
Now
it?
I never sparred Keon. I sparred Keyshawn, not Keon. But
Okay.
yeah, Keon might have that trouble, but I mean, he just Keon and Kelvin all just inked the deal with Jay Prince. Jay Prince will find opportunities for him, and I mean, they'll probably
So
land with the big.
Keyshawn is no longer with Top Rank.
I don't know for sure.
Nothing came out. Okay.
Yeah, Top Rank hasn't said that they dropped him, but Keyshawn signed with Jay Prince in a management deal, and that might off the strength of Jay Prince and his relationships with Bob Arum in the past, he might stay with Top Rank. We'll just have to see what DB3's next move is, but wherever Keon lands, he'll be with a promoter that has deep pockets that can find him opposition that's willing to fight. So he won't have as much trouble. Like I started my pro career not unsigned, fighting with a local promoter. Shout out to Keystone Boxing. They helped a lot of people get their career started. Um, and they were stressing out trying to find me opponents. I'm signed, like I said, I'm with Tony Jetta now. He's finding out that it's not easy to get me matched up. Like here, that dude, that tall dude, and then there's no secret now. I can actually fight. I'm not just that tall kid. I can fight too. So they're like, yeah, nah, we want more money, more money. It's like, dude, this is getting too expensive. You know what? We'll try to find somebody else.
But then it stops you from being able to get the level of competition, opposition that you need to
Yeah, yeah,
move up and to
def-
move
def-
further.
definitely. And I mean, a lot of people see me as they see me as a threat. They see me as a threat. Like, you got this. You got
25-5. I mean, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and when you got somebody that might have a better record than me, but they're shorter, it's like, yo, let's take our chance with that dude. You know what I mean? That type of thing happens.
So how was your fight against Surrey Boychuk? Like how did that the preparation for that?
The prep was like really good. I sparred. I did a lot of rounds with Benjamin Johnson out of No Excuse.
Okay.
Um, my bad. Keith Saunders and Dede Whitmire. They're fighting February 21st in DC. Um, Davon Whitmire, he's making his pro debut. Shout out to TCG. Shout out to Triple Threat. But I got a lot of great sparring for that fight. The thing that I lost to, I mean, was just Boachuk was unprofessional that night in the sense that he missed weight. He blew two contracts. So we signed a contract in 54. They asked us to move it to 157. I asked for extra money. They gave me the extra money. I signed a new contract. All right, cool. We still got work to do. The mission ain't changed. Then we get out there. He ends up weighing in at 159 and a half. And I got more money off of that. That's why I went on with the fight. We fought a good fight. Boachuk's tough. He's strong. Um, Maybe I probably shouldn't have given him the weight advantage, but we had a great camp, and I didn't want my team to leave. I didn't want to leave without getting paid, and I didn't want my team to leave without getting paid. They worked hard. We worked hard for that fight, but things happen. If he would have made 54 and we would have fight again, which they probably would never let happen, I would beat him. But there'll be other fights.
I feel like, what I mean, the type of career you have right now, it's just gonna take that one opponent to just take you over the top because you already right there, Mike. It's just the right dance partner. You know what I mean? I feel like that was a good dance partner. It's unfortunate that he came in overweight like that because that could have been a good opportunity for the masses to start picking. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The
most
media to
definitely.
start covering and tuning in more, and that's what I've been trying to do, and that's why I gotta realize like why things is so important for me to stay dedicated to the sport and stop, trying to be 1 foot in and 1 foot out of such because these other media platforms and other cities they pay attention to what I post. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
when I go on these little droughts and hiatuses, is confusing the algorithm first off. You know what I mean? Because you can't go from posting viral content to then you drop off and then there's nothing there and then it started to pick back up and then when it picked back up then you kind of walk away again. But see the thing about just this media grind in general, what I'm realizing is, you got other things going on in life as well. You know what I mean? I don't know about you, Mike. I'm a father though, so I got 4 daughters, so that takes up a lot of where my thought process lies. So I find myself, you know what I mean, feeling like how much am I giving, what I mean, enough to my family? How much am I giving enough to myself? How much am I pouring into me? But then it's like when I realize the brain not going in the direction I want, then I ask myself, like, how much am I giving the brain? Like, am I shorting the brain? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I feel like to build something significant, it's gonna take that work and it's gonna take that love to keep pouring into something. And I want to thank TTG because without Coach Andrew Council, I wouldn't have got my flow going like that. You know what I mean? I feel like he really he got my steps together with that. But his main thing was, you can't cheat on the sport though. You can't cheat on it. You know what I mean? So when you try to cheat the sport, you gonna see it's not gonna give you, it ain't gonna give you what you want in return. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, most definitely. I mean, he's right. He's right. Everybody know that. In reality, boxing is a sport that really, really, really. If you watch The Simpsons, man, like when it comes to boxing, uh, we all a bunch of millhouses trying to win Lisa Simpson's affections. You know what I mean? And that's what boxing is Lisa Simpson. We all millhouses. Some of us have just done better than others.
That's real. That's real. So let me ask you, how do you like? What's your thoughts about some of the upcoming fighters in the area? Who are some guys that you feel like are just rising, talents, just waiting to break out?
Um, well, it's kind of happening now. You know, like I said, guys, Ben Johnson, Jordan Roach. You know, they're set to fight on Pro Box in January. Everybody from the area on that card. Frankie Scarborough is doing his thing. He just won a big knockout in Florida.
Third knockout. I mean,
hell yeah.
He got a few of those in his book right now. Like,
yeah, he looking. Yeah,
he definitely
he
knocking
right
cats out right now. He looking good.
Yeah, he moving the right way. You can't forget about Derek Scooter Davis, top ranked signee. We got Nasheed Smith. He's a step away. You know, he's with the right team. Derek Scooter and Nasheed, they're both they're with Barry Hunter, Boogie Harris. They got a lot of time in the game, and those, in my opinion, those guys are, you know, beyond what their years. Like, you know, they got one's 8-0,
been
one's
in
like
there
6-0.
with bigger opponents like Nasheed?
Say again?
Have you been in there with bigger opponents like Nasheed?
I move around with Nasheed a little bit, but like in reality, he's too heavy. You know what I mean?
Right,
I can't
right. I
go
would
in the
think
whole
that.
camp with him. I can't go in. I wouldn't want to be injured going into the fight. He's a big kid. He a big youngin. But that's my guy. Him, Scooter, like I said, everybody over at TTG, everybody over at North Shoes, everybody at Hillcrest. Shout out to Tierra Brown, Frankie Scarborough, Urban Fuller. Those guys are, everybody around here putting in work, man. We're a talented area. Big shout out to Ernesto Rodriguez. He's, like Andrew Council, he's a former fighter turned coach, and they do great things. And then Big Lamar Roach Sr. He still has a great amateur program. Hassan just came home with a national championship. So everything is. I mean, the area is in good hands after I'm gone or after I'm done, and after different generations are starting to part ways with boxing. The DMV boxing
do you got like a set age where you want to hang it up, or
not really
based off how you feel at that time of your life?
Yeah, it's just based on kind of how I feel. Like, my thing is, the only thing that's gonna like be like a straight up we're done type situation is the days if it gets to a point where I can't make it through any of my training camps without getting injured, it might be like, yeah, I know it's time now. But as far as if I'm still in good health and my body feels good, I'm like, and it's some money involved. Shit, I do another one, and I do another one.
Right. So, with that being said, you know what I mean? Like, do you feel like you spar too often at times, or like how often do you feel like a boxer should spar getting ready for a fight?
I say this, so let's do it like outside of training camp. You always should be moving around something. Like if it's not like full-fledged sparring, you need to be doing some drills, maybe some defensive drills, maybe sparring some greener guys with like one hand, work on landing your jab, or work on landing your left hand, or work on landing this. You know what I mean? You always need to be in motion. But now when it's time to lock in for training camps, you should spar. I feel like at least, depending on how the type of work it is, you need to be sparring at least twice a week, 3 times if you might have 2 days with a dog and then 1 day with a green guy just to work on a few things and tighten some things up. But you should be out here trying to spar your way into shape. That's a good way to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Make sure the people you spar with, especially as a pro, this is all business. This is how you make your money. Make sure you spar reliable guys that are going to give you hard work, but they're not going to try to injure you, like elbows, forearms, and all that shit. Once they start, we good, bro. We got money. We got money to make. If you're going to be doing all that, we'll see you another time.
I love the clean spawn work that you and Dave was able to put together. That was definitely, you know what I mean, for me to be able to see that day, you know what I mean, it was good.
Yeah. Appreciate that. Top notch, rough, rugged, but clean. Pretty much everything on the level. No, like I don't go in trying to hit nobody behind the head. I don't do that type of shit. So like, we thumping. We in there thumping, but we ain't trying to keep nobody from making it to the fight date. So,
how you feel working with somebody at that age that's 20 years old, man, 20 years young, just
I mean, that was. I mean, it's full circle. There was a time where I was 18. When I was 18, I sparred Robert Easter, Hank Lundy,
Mm. Robert Easter. That's,
Raynell Williams. Yeah, Raynell Williams.
people
He was
forget,
one.
man. Robert Easter was doing his run. He was something serious.
Yeah, he was. He was, man. I mean,
I
he
wish he
caught.
would
I
have
mean,
gave Devin Haney an opportunity, though. Devin was calling for him early, in Devin's career.
yeah,
That
I
would
mean,
have
that's the thing. Though, when you at certain times, it's where you are in the sport. Like the one thing about Robert, he as good of a run as he had, it took him some time to become a world champion. And then you got like a young dude calling you out, like, "Oh, you ain't cut your teeth yet, man. You got some work to do." And I mean, I understand why. Like going through this sport, I understand why it would be like that sometimes. Where it's like, "Dog, I did a lot to get here. You ain't did enough yet. You ain't been through enough bullshit the way I had to go through this type of bullshit. When you go through it, I'll be waiting for you." But there were bigger fights on the line too. Like Mikey, he went on to fight Mikey Garcia and things like that. He made a lot of money off of that. He lost, but he made a lot of money off that. He made a lot of money fighting Javier Fortuna. So um, everybody's gonna get. I mean, if you really are what you say you are, you gonna get your chance. And Devin got his chance. Look at Devin now.
Devin is exactly where he need to be at right now. I mean,
Hey.
did you see that coming at
Um,
147?
Yeah, well, no, I didn't see the knockdown coming. I knew. I told people like there's a version of Devin Haney that gives Brian Norman Jr. fits, and there's a version of Devin Haney that Brian Norman can beat. And Brian Norman got the version that Devin Haney that gave him fits. Put him
No,
down.
who was very advocate about that was just going on record to say that he was just gonna be too sharp. Greg Hackett, man. Greg Hackett had said that he felt like Devin was just gonna be too experienced, too sharp. You know what I mean? Too
Yeah,
quick on that night, and that's
yeah, and that
exactly what it
experience,
was.
yeah, that experience. It isn't just who he fought. It's like where is the level of the event. Like think about this is the same Devin Haney's the same dude that flew to Australia twice to beat George Kambosos. So about the time changes and how to adjust to that and things like that. I think Brian Norman's like a great fighter. I can't say that he would have fought a better fight in the States and nothing like that. But what I will say is when where you'll be. That's like it was on. Devin Haney's never fought in the Middle East yet, but it's home field advantage when I'm about to fly this dude across the world, and this is his first time flying across the world. Well, Brian Norman did go to Japan, but I mean, I felt like he spent more to me. I felt like he spent more time in Japan to get acclimated than he did in the Middle East, and then that plays a factor.
I feel like he would have got another good fight. It was another opponent that I had threw out there around that time period. I know I be pushing just from places. People be like, "Man, where is he coming with this?" like he ain't at that weight class, right? Like, where you going with this? But then when the fight ended up being announced, it's like, hold up, maybe he had something right there. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
I was calling for Canelo and Crawford earlier. A lot of people, don't remember, and they was like, "Man, you crazy? Like, man, what are you talking about?" And I'm like, I know what I'm talking about. Like,
yeah,
I feel like, like when all right, with that, I felt like when he gave, because I told Shadasia Green the same thing. I
yeah,
felt like when he was giving Earl the look and just basically, you know, saying, "Oh, I fight Earl." I'm like, if Bud happened to be Earl, why wouldn't you want to fight Bud? So it was just a thought, you know what I mean? I never really looked at Canelo as a natural 168 guy. Like he can't, the fights that a lot of people remember at 147, you know what I mean? Like that
yeah,
fight with Floyd, everybody gonna remember you as a 147 pound as a welterweight. So it's like at the same time, now when you see somebody like Bud and what he did to the welterweight division, I'm like, man, if he could get his hands on that guy, it don't really matter what weight class is at. I feel like he'd dominate. And that's exactly what happened.
yeah. That's definitely what happened. Like in all honesty, like I mean, but like I watched that Otter Ward interview with Ward and Crawford.
I love
But
war interviews. I check
yeah,
in
them notes are
all
great.
those
Them
for
notes are
sure.
great. Then but the thing with Bud is like he said that once we were preparing for this for a long time, so this wasn't just a 8 week thing. He said I prepared for this fight for over a year, almost over a year. So, I mean, honest to God, I didn't think it was going to happen. I didn't think they could. I said I did. Eventually, I would come to say I said if Turkey LC gets involved, the fight could happen. But I didn't see the fight happen just because it was like a no-win situation for Crawford. Because no matter what, I mean, not for Crawford, for Canelo, just because like, yo, if you lose and he's have lost to a super welterweight, you know what I mean? But then Turkey LC comes along with probably a really big bag. Like, I got the money. Name your price, I got it.
You know,
And
because at
like,
one point, Bud wanted to see him at 160. He wanted to meet in the middle. You know what I mean? And Canelo, he shot that down quick and was like, nah,
I would have too.
168, I'm not going down for nobody.
Yeah, but that plus, like, when the last time Canelo even hit 160? But I mean, but you got to give Crawford his you got to give Crawford his flowers just because he went up to 168, no rehydration clauses, beat him straight up, and I mean, that's a history making thing right there.
Do you feel like if the situation with Jenner back never happened, he might have entertained the fight at 160?
Who, Crawford?
Yeah, because when he put it out there, when he was like, I got eyes on you, Jenner back, and that kind of that post kind of was surfacing around, everybody thought, you know what I mean? But I was more so I was pulling for Laura to beat Jenner back.
Yeah.
Because I wanted the Lauren Crawford fight, you know what I mean? But a
Yeah,
lot of
I
people
did
don't
too.
understand why would you want Lauren Crawford? Because I mean, I know Lauren. He seemed like he on his way out the door right now, but while you still up there as the oldest champion, it's just amazing to see.
Yeah,
And
well,
he
I think
saying versus Gonzalez, he just got the one.
yeah. I mean, Janback pop dirty and things like that. But I wanted, like, I think they were writing they were writing Laura off. I wanted Laura.
Right.
I wanted Laura to be Janback, but I wanted Laura just to get an opportunity. He got an opportunity against a young Canelo. He never got an opportunity at like a Floyd Mayweather or a Triple G. This was a big opportunity for him, a big money fight. I mean, I don't think Laura's hurting for money, but I think you just like
Just unfortunate,
he
you know
deserves,
what I
yeah,
mean?
he deserves that. He I think not deserves. I say he's earned that though that type of opportunity. Where he, especially if he beat Janabek, he were to beat Janabek, and then him and Laura fight for, and then Laura and Crawford fight for undisputed. I'm like, boom. Both two guys I love watching in the sport, doing battle. I love that. One fight I always wanted for Laura that never came about. I wanted him and Sergio Martinez to fight. That would have been one of my. I would have enjoyed that fight tremendously.
Can you tell us about August 18th with your fight against DeMarcus Chop Chop Corley?
Yeah, that was back in 2018. 2018, I fought DeMarcus Chop Chop Crowley. That was the first fight at Maryland Live. I was the co-main event. Demond Nicholson was in the main. When I got that fight, a lot of people thought it was crazy. Like, oh snap, Chop Chop's fighting Michael Fox, and I mean, like, I got a call. My father called me about it. At first, he was got to be like, nah, we'll skip that. And then he called me back like 5 minutes later, like, let me be honest. If it wasn't Chop Chop Corley, take his name off of that exact same record. Would you say? What would you say to that fight? I would say, let's do it. And at that time, I'm like 16-0 maybe. And then he was like, man, yeah, I think we got to do it, man. We got to do it. I said, all right, bet. And then
And
we
it was
did it.
great for the resume, you know what I mean? To add
Yeah.
a name like that.
Nah, definitely. And
But see, that's what I was saying about, certain guys getting certain opportunities. I mean, I feel like, the thing about Chop, like, I feel like he'll fight anybody, you know what I mean? He gonna go in, he definitely gonna try put together the best performance he can, you know what I mean?
But that was the
Especially
thing.
at his age, to still be out here fighting and still be active, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chop was my first interview that I ever had, like
That's
in the
what's up.
DMV. So I appreciate Chop for doing that for me because it actually opened doors of people saying, well, if Chop gave him a chance to sit down, maybe I should, you know what I mean? And
Yeah. But
Chop
I was
boy,
saying with me and Chop, like, since you want to talk about first, Chop was my first televised fight. So, that was a big deal for me. And I mean, just in the sense of, like, fighting people from the area, like, you got to look at. I mean, we're at different points of our career. I'm on the rise. He's a journeyman. He's still doing his thing. So,
yes.
it was a good fight. That was the first time I ever got booed in a fight. Actually, second time. That was the second time I ever got booed in a fight. People really
They
wanted to
was
see
just because
Chop Chop.
people from the
They
area
want
was
they
like, come
wanted to
on
see him.
now,
Yeah, they
come
wanted to
on now.
see they wanted to see Chop Chop be young again for one night. I'm like, well, no, you can't do that at my expense, man. Shout out to the OG, but nah, I can't lose fight. I can't lose this fight.
Right. That's real. How you feel at the fact that he still to this day, you know what I mean? He's still trying to be active. So
It speaks to just being disciplined. That's what the thing. That's the biggest thing about it. It speaks to discipline. Discipline leads to longevity. And I mean, for him to have stayed in good enough shape and like still like at almost close to 50, still cut up and
I'm
strong,
telling you,
could still could,
Slim
could
work out
yeah be a little
all the time.
maybe
Do
a
nothing
little
else
slow.
but work out.
Maybe a little slower, but it's still clipper man. Like he hit me with that same right hook he hit Floyd and Cotto with. That junk was still hurting
Ain't
me.
no regular old head on the street playing with y'all.
No, ain't no youngin begging out front of a 7-Eleven gonna get themselves put to sleep trying to
No,
play.
for real. No, for real.
Yeah,
I ain't, he played horse every weekend back
yeah,
in
nah,
the
yeah,
time.
he stay in good shape and like in all honesty, anybody should hope to look like to be that strong and that in shape and moving that
Nah, for real.
moving
That's a
about
blessing to
like
be able
at
to,
his age. Yeah,
because I find myself even at my age being like, hey, Slim, you need to get back in the gym. You need to do better.
yeah, man.
Because, you
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
you start feeling them cramps in your back or something. You like, what I
They
mean?
say if
Like,
you
nah,
don't,
you too young for that. I'm only 34.
yeah. They say if you don't use it, you lose it, man. So
Nah, for real.
y'all got to stay in good health, man. Chop Chop's a prime example of that. And Keith Holmes too. Keith Holmes still in good health, man. Two-time WBC middleweight champion. He's in great health, still eating right. You know what I mean? Things like that. He still moves freely. He's not. He ain't on no cane. He ain't having no trouble standing. He's walking about. He's running. Andrew Council too. Andrew's running,
Nah,
still putting 3 miles in every couple of days out the week. So I mean, these guys are examples for life after boxing, as well as just life after 40. You know what I mean?
nah, for real.
Yeah,
Like, and it's a thought, you know what I mean? At 34, I'm definitely thinking about it. I'm like, damn, man, 40 is definitely right around the corner. So,
yeah,
you
man.
don't want to rush it, but, it's a part of life. It's going to hit at some point. So,
Yeah, just always be doing something, man. Just always be doing being in some type of motion. It helps.
now, I honestly feel like around the time, I probably felt best when, around that time period when I was coming over there with them and working out and stuff. So,
Yeah,
I had been feeling like it's been something missing, out of my life, like that was keeping me as, pushing, more motivated. You know what I mean? Now I'm kind of back in the, chilling stage or not pushing myself. You know what I mean?
yeah. I
And
mean,
you
the
can,
thing is,
and it mess with your motivation as far as like other stuff you doing too. You know what I mean? Like I could just say like something as far as media work. People don't see that them type of things can go hand in hand. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Because
sure.
now it's like when you watching them push their self as hard as they pushing their self and you pushing yourself to a certain degree and make you feel like, oh nah, I gotta be more dedicated. I start in the beginning, I felt like I was cheating myself if I didn't go get up and be at the gym that day to see them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing they say, though. There's gonna be times where you ain't motivated, but you gotta stay disciplined. That's the biggest thing. If you tired, do it tired. If you ain't feel like it, do it anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I would ask you, like, how do you stay so disciplined? Like, you know what I mean? As far as like on them days that you really just don't feel like it. Like what get you up there to keep going and keep saying, man, this is something I really gotta do with my life.
Yeah, like the biggest thing I try to do is I don't like for too many days to be the same. You know what I mean? I try to switch up my workouts. Even if I switch up, I'll go to the same place. I might switch up the order in which I do it. Just doing it whatever I can to kind of keep it fresh. You know what I mean? You don't like if you do the same thing, the same routine, the same every single day, it eventually becomes monotonous. And when it becomes monotonous, it becomes harder to do. And then it's like you're sitting there, and then you just then you take a day off, and it's nothing wrong with taking a day. If you gotta take a day off, take a day off. But like, don't let too many days off turn into a
All
fatigue.
accumulating up, and then you look up and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
don't see the version of yourself that you want to be saying. You know what I mean? You seeing the
yeah,
version that you like. This ain't the direction I want to see myself going there. So
yeah. Just keep mixing up your workouts, man. That's the biggest thing. Mix up how you do them. On certain days you run, on certain days you bike, on certain days you hit the bags, on certain days you just shadow box, whatever it is. I mean, do it with with the right intensity and everything. But just keep it fresh, keep it
so
fresh.
you don't feel like working out in the winter time just feels like so much different versus working out in the summertime or
I
working out in the spring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. When it's cold, man, and when it's cold and that wind chill hit you, man, you be like, man, I want to go back in the house, but the work got to get done. The work got to get done. I've like, these DMV winters made us men, so we still have you still got to go to work. You should be able to do something you love to do, even when it's cold outside.
Nah, that's real. I needed to hear that, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes you know, that's just like I remember when Trey Chaney he dropped a bunch of gems on me doing our interview. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
About just not giving up. You know
yeah,
what
for
I'm
sure.
saying? Anything you want to do in life, you just gotta keep going after it because you never know like if something is meant for you if you just keep on. I don't know, or you keep. You know what I mean? It's like the
Yeah,
self-doubt. You know what I mean? People don't understand like mental health is a big thing, man, and depression.
definitely.
You know what I mean? Self-doubt start creeping up, and
Yeah,
other depression creep up, and then you will start looking at stuff like, do I really want to do this? You know what I mean? But
yeah, no, for
you
sure.
gotta fight through that.
Yeah, you definitely do, man. Just you gotta find something that I mean, any weather that you'll get up for, any weather you'll get up for, whatever it is, even because I mean, I think it's important, especially in the winter. I mean, it's cold outside. They say seasonal depression, things like that, but it always helps to see the sun, man. So when it's sunny out, might still be cold out, but go out there and let that sunshine hit you a little bit, man. I think that helps a lot too.
No, that's real, man. That made me want go ahead and get a little vlog going tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
know
man,
what
do
I'm
that.
saying? I'm gonna try to I'm gonna call Coach Drew in the morning and see if I can, get a vlog with them over there tomorrow. Just start getting back in the, the mix of things, man. Like I feel like I've been like a fly on the wall too much. I'm not doing what I could be doing. So when I
Yeah,
was talking to Davis, he like, man, don't sleep on what you got because you wanted to one of the few that got what you got. You know what I mean? So don't
yeah,
let the platform basically don't let us down when we count on you to do something. Like don't.
yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, it's not hard to do. I mean, as long you're respectful, and Drew will vouch for you probably any day, man. You can hit these gyms up, man. Hit these gyms up. Go to you can catch them at North Shoes if you can. You can pull up at Rays if I'll vouch for you. If you can go to go to the different go to
I
Hillcrest.
live down the street from Leicester on them right now. So
Yeah, so pull
but
up over there.
it's
That
like when
shouldn't be
you
hard to do. It shouldn't be hard to do if you're down the street, man. Just pull up if he'll have you. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, like I said, Drew and them will vouch for you. If I'll vouch for you, man. I always got Nesto's been like an uncle to me since I was a kid. Always giving advice and gyms and shit.
what was your relationship with JR growing up?
With Jr. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah. Nah, man. We was always around somewhere in the gym,
That's
so at
somebody
the
else I
fights.
respect insight, man. His knowledge is pretty deep as well when it comes to the sport of boxing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he was around it. We both were around it at the fights at the gyms, at the tournaments, at the shows, at the Keystone, the pro shows at Rosecroft. We
Right.
just been around it, man. We've been around it. He know what he be he's a historian. Like I know what I know, but that dude he got dates, he got stuff that predates my time in boxing. So he know what he be talking about.
How'd you get into commentation? What was your first fight commentating? Like, did you
My,
remember thinking back?
my first commentary, first time I did commentary was I did a King's promotion card. They asked he was my Marshall Kaufman was my promoter at the time. he asked if I wanted to ride up to Bethlehem and just commentate the card. I think they put it on Facebook Live. And it just he said commentate alongside Mark Abrams, and
Okay.
that was the first time. Nervous and everything, but the longer I did it, the more comfortable I got. And then after that, come around 2021, I asked a buddy of mine. He has a media company, a guy named Mark Frotto, if he was looking for commentators. Would you want to do it? I said absolutely. And then he said, all right, cool. I'll find something for you. Then Greg Outlaw fought in Philadelphia. He said, well, since you was already coming up there, why don't you work that? Yeah, why don't you work that card? And then I was like, all right, cool. I'm down. I drove up there, worked it, and I've been since 2021. I've consistently worked from 2021 to now. I've consistently worked a few cards each year. Like I did last September. That was the last time I did a broadcast. I'm definitely looking to do some more next year, because the year's closing now. So I'm definitely looking to do some more next year. I worked some cards in Pennsylvania, some cards in Jersey, and some cards in Maryland and DC.
So I do basically bite down on the nervousness and get past that factor, because you see I'm still still dealing with it a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get used to being on camera. Because it's like, I'm gonna be honest with you, Mike. If you want up there, jump on stream, I wouldn't even get it. You know what I mean? Because that's more so the mindset I've been in. It's like, I take my hat off the mill when, campsite and them guys that can sit online and just talking to a phone for hours on hours. I'm like, because I'm getting used to it. You know what I mean? Being on the by myself, because sometimes you will find yourself, you like, am I venting? Am I just like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, how do I keep people entertained without an actual guest? You know what I mean? Like, I like the build off of, like, I see streaming is a thing now. It's like just sitting back and letting people watch you, but I always use, social media to like get a guest on. Even when I was just doing live, like I had my lives going. I ain't like the direction it was going at first. I was interviewing the artists in the area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The rappers. Then I look and it'd be like a full panel, and then it's like with 4 panels, it get a little crazy. So I told myself, I learned my lesson from 4 panels to just keep things down to 2, unless we talking about the sport of boxing, and then maybe you might want to add, 2 more people onto it as well. But they all gotta be on the same, on the same page, because insults can get thrown quick and get chippy quick. Chippy quick. And you don't want to seem like you instigated. You don't want to seem like you putting guys on the call together just so they can, you know what I mean? Because you see that a lot, where it's like, why you bring him on with him? They gonna get it. Like, don't do that. I mean, I get it. Like, people want clickbait and they, but I try to sometimes like lean away from that. You know what I mean? I don't like creating myself, because, especially with this area, you'll find yourself, in the middle of some shit.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's just one of the things, man. Like, I mean, it's interesting because, like, I mean, you need to get some traffic to your platform, but you also want to have a platform for where fighters, managers, whatever, they feel comfortable. So it's just a thin line you got to walk. As far as me,
I try not to make things so, like related. Like, I mean, it's about boxing, but I still want to know the people behind the gloves. Like, I'm still trying to understand it and want to know y'all stories. Like, I want to, was there enough in high school to like push you over the top, or like in middle school was like, man, look, I really think that I can do this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what, because I look back at somebody like Pat. You know what I mean? Pat was in the sport early, young.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I always tell him this, but I feel like he can be further than where he at right now if he really wants to. It's all about if he want to come back.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think he just, when you feel like things aren't moving, this joint is easy. It's an easy sport to walk away from. I mean, couldn't blame it. You feel like you're in the same place for too long. Nobody want to be stagnant.
I feel you, but you 20-0 too. It ain't like you ain't, got something.
Yeah. He's got a great record. I mean, I mean, if if he's willing to step out there
and get a decent, a decent quality opponent. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Not
yeah,
just
he got a good
anybody,
enough
but a
record to make
quality
some decent
opponent.
bread. Yeah, he got a good enough record to make some decent bread. So it's just like, I mean, he got if he finds that if he like finds that hunger again, he finds that hunger again. But I mean, we just have to see. I mean, everybody's everybody's story is a little
I
different.
like
Everybody's
it.
motivation is different.
I
He
feel
got
like Stephon ready for a step up in competition. Me personally, when I
who
look
is
at Stephon,
who?
Bricklayer,
Oh
Hawk,
yeah. He got a decent one coming up. He about to fight Ashton Sykes. He get a win here, then I think Drew will probably step. I mean, it's a calculated thing where when you
you got
build a fighter, you build a fighter, you step him up a little more each time, a little more time. Each time is supposed to get a little more dangerous, but he's supposed to handle it. And Drew has been
nah,
a fighter
he's
himself, and so he knows what he's doing.
he know exactly what he's doing. I ain't,
He knows what he's doing.
I'm just saying from a front perspective more so. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
just want to see. You know what I mean? It's guys you just want to see good things from. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah,
want to see
nah.
good things from Trey. I want to see good things from Dave. I feel like uh, over time, you know what I mean, they can show growth. I see that you and Trey had a similar opponent. I watched that fight.
Yeah.
I felt like you beat him. Can you
I
talk
mean,
to us about that?
yeah, I mean, you and the rest of the world, and I mean, that fight came on like 11, 12 days notice. I was a backup for the fight and for the entire card. Like I said, I'd be a backup. This is around 2021, right after COVID, everything unlocked and everything opened back up and everything. But my Maestra's opponent got COVID. He was already fighting Southpaw, so they let me step in and get the opportunity. It was for WBA interim world title, and they was on games. That's the bottom line. Is it like where you think about me? You think I won, and I think I won. The rest of the world thinks I won that fight. That was probably the biggest robbery of 2021.
Nah, for real, for sure, for sure.
Yeah,
And just to see that, what I mean, right after he goes on to, but it's just, it's like I just think about if that never happened, like if the situation never happened with Trey and he never had that as an opponent that he lost to, like where he would be at right now, you know what I mean? Because it seemed like he was already on the rise around that time period. So
yeah, man. I mean, things
I
just
feel
happen, man.
like everything gonna come back together though for
It
sure.
will. It
Huh?
will. It
Running
will. I mean,
the down.
yeah, it will. He got. I mean, he got caught. It happens. It happens. I mean, he got caught. It just
That
happens.
happen to
He's
anybody.
young, but he's
Not
still
box.
he's young in the game. Like I mean, he's matured since then. And he's still getting opportunities. He's going to be on the pro box card as well. So, you know, it probably took a little time to get things back rolling, but he's back on a nice platform. He gets to where he can make a statement. So, um, you know, these things happen though. These things happen. So, but he's back. But like I said, he's back and
Like
he's in a good position.
he got a lot of charisma about him that what I mean. I feel like it do well with media as far as like as a boxer, as far as building up his platform. You know what I'm saying? And his
Yeah.
audience, a fan base. You know what I mean? Like some people, how you could just
Yeah.
look
People
how
got to see him. Yeah. But they're going to see him. You need a platform. That's why
Scooter,
we
prime
need,
example. You know what
yeah,
I
we
mean?
need
Scooter
pro
just got
box.
this. He stand out. He got star quality about him.
Yeah, he's a great boxer, but we just need platforms to be seen. He's on Pro Box, but we need people like Pro Box and OTX and the Zone and things like that. We need, fighters need to be seen.
How do you
So
feel
this is
about
his
OTX?
opportunity. This is another
I
opportunity
love
for him.
their system over there.
Say again.
OTX.
What about it?
I'm saying the no draw system that they got over there. The
Like what I
bonus
think
round.
about it?
How you feel about the bonus round system?
I mean,
The money round, as they
yeah,
call
yeah,
it.
as they call it, yeah. I mean, go for it. They don't do no draws. I like that. I mean, so you go basically a sudden death round. It adds to the drama, and the boxing needs a little bit of drama. It needs a little theatricality, and I
You
think
you,
it
you
brings
think
that.
it should have been something like that for Martin, maybe Isaac Cruz? I know that's on the advanced level. You think what I'm saying is you think they can add something like that over to the traditional?
Yeah, I mean, that would. I mean, I think it's cool when they do it on OTX. So, but like, if it was a fight of that magnitude, and they said,
That's
and the
perfect. If
commission and the
both
commission
fighters
get involved.
agree, if both fighters agree, though, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, it's not even. I mean, I think it could be something like this. The each state commission probably could get involved and be like, all right, man, we doing from now on, we doing sudden death rounds, no more draws. We get a definitive winner. You know what I mean? That would be kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like, especially at a world championship fight. A world championship, like, oh man, Cruz and Lamont have one more round. Man, that's lit for real, for real. And I
that's what I'm
mean,
saying.
and
What was
I
your thoughts
and
about
look,
that fight? Did you get to see it?
Cruz and Roach ain't gonna be like, oh nah, fuck, we get him next time. These dudes are fighters. They're like, all right, fuck, I got another round for you. You know, that's when pride get involved. Like, nah, hell yeah, let's
That's
go.
real.
We finishing this shit tonight.
That's real. I feel like you know, it's tough that Lamont, got another draw in with that situation because I felt like the matchmaking was going to go crazy if he would have been able to get that win. You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
still came. It still came, but with that win under his belt, it really would have put him in the conversation at 140 instantly.
definitely. Yeah, it just, man, look, it was. I say like this: you're in Texas fighting a Mexican, and they gave the Mexican fighter a draw with you. You didn't lose that fight. Now, Texas is known to have some crazy scorecards anyway, but I mean, of course, we wanted on paper that we left with that W, but I mean,
And
that's Texas for you.
Lamar came in the A side or the B side.
Came on the B side.
Okay.
Cruz was the champion. Cruz was the interim champion, so he's fighting for Cruz's belt. But like I say, fighting for Cruz's belt in Texas, it like the crowd gets involved when it's like when you got like when you got like a crowd that's pro Mexican and things like that. It makes the judges like whoever the crowd favors, it might sway the judges sometimes. When in reality, they
Right.
supposed to be looking with their eyes. Really, they need to have like headphones on, like noise canceling headphones on, so and just watch. Don't listen to the crowd because like they'll tell you if you just listening to the crowd, it sounds like one fighter is kicking ass and the other fighter isn't. When that wasn't the case.
That wasn't the case at all.
Yeah.
Um, the tank fight, the
I,
knee. What
yeah.
was
No.
the knee?
Right. That was supposed to be a knock. That was supposed to be considered a knockdown. Steve Willis made a bad call that night, and then and I thought Lamont pulled it off without the knockdown, but the knockdown would have
But the
like he would
knockdown
have won it by at least a point. Huh?
right?
Yeah.
And you got and I it seemed like it been a little, not really chippy, but just Baltimore, they got their thoughts about it, and of course DC got our thoughts. Like, let's not be biased, y'all. Let's not make this about Baltimore and DC. Let's not do that. Let's just look at it for what it was. He took a knee, y'all. We only going off of that, and
Yeah.
that's Tank, one of my favorite fighters. And I'm
Mine too.
being honest, like that has nothing to do with who my favorite fighter, who the more popular fighter, none of that. Man, we're talking about who's the rightful winner of that fight. And Lamar Roach did what he had to do that night, man. And I really feel like it spoiled a lot of what should be going on right now because of that. Because he doesn't have that win on his record. You know what I mean? The Isaac Cruz fight would never even happen. He just did that just to show the world something. So it just seems like, that was the first slant. Then you get slanted twice in a row. It's like, come on now. Come on now. What I gotta do, man?
Yeah. Sometimes certain networks and certain promotional entities they got their people in place and they just there's going to be some favoritism. We'll just leave it at that. There's going to be some favoritism, and so in reality, you know what I'm saying, he's not. He got a draw with both these guys, especially when we talk about the Esau Cruz fight. I don't think he lost that fight. I think he won that fight. He didn't lose to Cruz and get a draw with Cruz. He lost to the system. You know what I mean?
Right.
You going in on the B side. He's not a PBC fighter. Lamar's not a PBC fighter. Don't get it twisted. They're working. The PBC is working with Pro Box and they're making these helping making fights happen for Lamont. But he's not their guy, so
So
they
so
have no invested
so
interest.
who is Pro Box though? Who runs Pro Box? Like who's the people behind Pro Box?
Robox is the it architected by Gary Jonas. He's based out of Florida. He formerly was a partner in Mike Tyson's promotional effort, and then back in the day. But I mean, like he put this Pro Box thing together. It's on YouTube. I just watched the card tonight. You know, he put this together. He's given. I mean, he's and another guy that's creating platforms for fighters like Trevor McCumbee fought Caleb Plant. He started on, or he made noise on the Pro Box joint. Ramon Cardenas just knocked his guy out before. This is his first fight after fighting at New Wave, but he fought several fights on Pro Box before then. So it's making Pro Box is another avenue that's helping get these fighters big opportunities.
You know what I mean? It could get up there just like the Zone at some point.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's on YouTube and it's streaming on YouTube, so it's just like everybody can watch it. Everybody can tune in.
That's what I'm saying. That's a beautiful thing too. Just the fact that it's even giving people that's on YouTube a chance to be able to watch high quality boxing.
Right, like great fights, like name worthy fights, like guys that I mean, maybe the hardcore
thing is, even though that's an app, y'all cannot screen record. You cannot make no clips. You can't do nothing that you do that. It sends it instantly. I just tried it. It's like,
like it just blacked the screen out and shit. Yeah.
So that's why I couldn't get no clips like when they fight like that. But it's still waste, but it happens.
yeah. I mean, it's still being seen after they finish the broadcast. It's immediately ready to be viewed again on YouTube.
Yeah, you gotta just go on YouTube. You gotta go on YouTube and do it like that.
Yeah, man. But so I mean, more avenues for fighters, the better, because everybody can't be a top ranked signee. Everybody can't be a PBC signee. You know what I mean? So, everybody's not gonna get screen time. So when your opportunities come, make sure you take full advantage.
This was a question I had asked Bernard Hackett. I had asked Jalil Father. I was pretty much like, what's y'all thoughts about like underground brawling? Like not for y'all, but just when y'all see stuff like that on the internet, like how you feel when
you mean like them like backyard joints type like?
Yeah, it's similar to that. You know what I mean? Like those type of,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
guns down.
I would rather them do that than a bunch of niggas be fighting in the middle of the street and stuff like that.
That's real.
These backyard brawls and everything. If y'all gonna leave it there. If it stays there, then that's cool. That's cool with me. You know what I mean? But if y'all are gonna do them joints, do it safely, man. At least get in touch with somebody that knows. Like, because I just watched a video of one dude. They going with some cheap gloves, no headgear. Boom, dude hit the floor. His head bounced off the concrete. So if y'all gonna do this, y'all gotta do it a little more safer than that.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta do that. You gotta do it safer than that, man. His head,
but now the job it seemed a little interesting to me when I first saw it. It's like the guy, his name is Taj, but he basically has a U-Haul, right? And he packs out the U-Haul real good. Taj Campbell. So
I just saw something like that.
Yeah, I interviewed him the other day. That's actually his sister used to be on mine.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, Tisha Campbell. Her name slept. Okay. But yeah, I got to interview Tisha Campbell, brother. But right now he's doing work out here in the DMV, and he has a series called U-Haul Bros.
Yeah, I saw a clip of
that. So they packed the U-Haul out with pads all around the U-Haul. Yeah. He just let them, you know what I'm saying, brawl out in the U-Haul.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's interesting. And I like that at least he's made it more safe. You know what I mean? It needs to be, safely handled business.
Like a jail cell small. This was his.
Yeah, it's small, but like it's still safer. It's padded. It's safe. I don't. This shouldn't, leave the more dangerous shit.
I want to live stream the event, but I might have to leave that for, you know what I'm saying, Larry that might know how I go about it a little different, you know what I mean? When because he might just clip it a certain way. Because I know Larry, he covered a couple of those Jones before. I'm a little nervous because I don't want to get flagged, man. And then like some of that stuff is like it's easy to get flagged posting
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like
It's
I
like
just did
it's
like
inciting
a short
violence and
clip
stuff like that.
and I got flagged. You know what I mean? You know that
Yeah,
flag, man. That's like a couple months to get them Jones removed. You gotta do the YouTube school and then you just gotta wait on it. You know what I mean? That mess
yeah.
up
That's
with China
crazy.
was posting too much of that type of content.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? But man, I appreciate you for your time, Mike. Man, it's getting late. I don't want to hold you up too long, bro. Hopefully we can catch up again soon. Do
Yeah,
these
we should.
more often, man. I definitely appreciate your time and your insight and what you was able to bring here to DNB Nation TV today, man. I appreciate you, Mike.
Yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you having I appreciate you letting me on the platform. Thanks for having me. And man, be out there, man. I mean, us as fighters, we need cameras on us. We need cameras on us that helps to
Even if it's just a cell phone, y'all know
yeah.
I
Even if it's
did
just a
full
cell
flat
phone, you want
phone.
yeah, yeah, man. Everybody needs a platform. Give everybody a chance to be heard, just in the sense of like, and then these youngsters gotta be able to be willing to talk and have these type of conversations before the media creates a narrative about them that they're hard to deal with and things like that. Nah. Just it starts at the ground. It starts at ground zero. It starts at ground at grassroots like you. Shout out to you. Shout out to DC Myke TV. Shout out to Light Skin Lou, Boxing Source. All y'all, man. We need y'all. We need y'all. Yeah, we need y'all so we so
I
we can
feel like more
tell
people
what our
need,
story.
man, Lou, he do tremendous work. He's like real great work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I see I got the more viral type of following going on type thing, but the casuals, but somebody like Lou who really do his homework on the fighters, really
yeah,
put himself in the community, really, you know what I mean, rub shoulders
yeah,
with everybody. Man, I really feel like more people gotta really start, taking their hat off to somebody like Lou, because without
yeah.
Lou, without him and that, you know what I'm saying, the DMV boxing legends, man, there is no DMV nation. So I definitely appreciate them dudes.
No, but sure, most definitely. Especially like, man, I mean, shoot, the same way we as fighters link up and spar, man. Maybe y'all link up and collaborate do collaborative efforts on these socials, man. We can all grow together. We're all supposed to grow. We're all supposed to get better. The boxers, the media, everybody's supposed to grow larger, man. And I anybody from this area, they can have my support if they doing something positive.
That's real. My the last one before you go. What's your thoughts on Franchon Cruz deserve Clarissa Shields?
Man, it's a big opportunity for Franchon. I'm rooting for her 100%. I've met Clarissa Shields. We chopped it up for a few hours before one time, and I mean, she cool. She's cool. We hung out. She's really cool. And any other time, I'd probably be rooting for her. But nah, it's Franchon Cruz. You know what I'm saying? She's from the area or from Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? She has my support full wholeheartedly. When I fought for my world title, and I got robbed and things like that. She was very candid about talking to me and wishing me well further my career and saying, man, telling me, man, keep going. You they see you now, they know who you are, man. Make something of it. So I want to give that support back. Man, Franchon Cruz for the upset. Let's go.
That's real. That's real. Man, I'm a fan of both of them. I'm kind of in the tough space with that one. You know what I mean? I got like on a more personal level, I got a lot of love for Franchon Cruz deserve just because I remember last year alone, man, around my birthday. You know what I mean? She had me come out to Baltimore and had an undisputed game tournament out there. She showed
Yeah.
me a lot of love. Uh, so I mean stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's more heartwarming. You know what I mean? Because
Ah,
I
yeah, for sure.
didn't know what I think I probably would have. I don't know what I would have did for my B day around that time. I think I probably would have linked up with my cousin and went to the bar. So I don't know. Something I ain't had no
Yeah.
business on. So she put me in a positive space for, what I mean? I got to meet Lou. We got to bridge that gap. So, I
Yeah.
definitely appreciate what she's been able to do for me. Um, on the other side, Clarissa has been great with just, letting me do the things I do as far as from clip farming and just posting about her and you know, her just still being vocal, telling me like, you know, keep going, like you got something great over here. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? She could have overlooked me, I feel. So me and her started networking around the time that I put out the clip of Hannah Gabriel's, you know,
yeah,
in the lockdown. So, you know, I had to look more into that fight, you know what I'm saying, versus just past that knockdown and you know, Clarissa dominated that fight. So
yeah,
that was
yeah. I mean, she did. Yeah, she did great. I mean, she's been on a great run. I mean, man, respect. Like I said, respect to her. But like, I've known Ren Sean since I was a kid. And she getting a big opportunity like this. It's
nah,
no
that's
way
her.
it's no way she don't have my support.
And you know, if she was the one, if she was the one this fight, you know, you changed the landscape of a female's boxing. You changed the landscape of women's boxing, and you know, I feel like if Fran Sean get on, you gotta look over there at that Upton Gym or that headbang type of
Yeah,
door she might
but
open
look,
for some of them young ladies.
yeah, it's a good. I mean, any win for anybody from this area is a win for the area. Just in the sense of like, man, we look. It makes us all look good. Like when Lamont brings one home, when Tank brought one home, Franchon went undisputed. I like, yo, it's here, y'all. We got dudes here, and like I
Yeah,
said, that
like
next
you,
crop on the way.
you gotta look at the DMV the same way. You gotta look at the DMV boxing scene the same way. You gotta look at the DMV basketball scene as far as the Merlin basketball scene.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, for
so
sure.
much talent that I feel like that comes out this area. You know, yeah, y'all could go work with guys out there in New York and Philly. Shout out to them as well. But
Yeah,
it's like it's so much here that you really ain't gotta go outside the, you know what I mean, outside the area much to
yeah,
get
yeah.
good
I
work.
mean, yeah, you spar good and you don't be on no bullshit. It's not a gym in the area I can't go to. So I can be here. I can train. I can and then being
Right.
going off to other camps. That's just a bonus. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when I go out there, I'm still representing. I'm representing. I go out there and wear my phone positive so they know where I'm from.
How you feel about Wale new drop, man? Them GT futures. You
The
saw
drop.
those?
Uh, No, I gotta look those up. I gotta look those up. I gotta have a look at those. But nah, man, you gotta give credit to Wale, man. He always been up on fashion, and but shout out to him because like I'm even if I seen stuff that I didn't like, I wouldn't wear that. But my thing is he still dressed masculine. Like a lot of these niggas starting to dress real
What,
funny, and I don't I
what
don't
high
dig that.
school did you go to, Mike?
I went to Largo.
You went to Largo?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Let me see something.
Oh shit.
Did Greg go to Largo too?
Yeah. Greg went to Largo. I
I
went to
went to
Largo
Largo
too.
together.
Yeah, he graduated 2 years before me. My brother graduated 3 years before me. So and then Sugar Wayne went to Largo too.
Oh, for real, that's crazy. Let me see. I know I'm old. I'm way old. Dang, I got all y'all. I got all y'all.
Yeah, I know you do. You said you was
I got
34.
all y'all.
You probably so you
Y'all
probably
won.
graduated
Y'all
what?
won
Oh
there.
nine.
Keep
You 09?
watching. I'm 34.
So that would have been 2009.
Oh nine. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Number.
you would have graduated a year before my brother.
Oh, for real. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, I know a lot of people. I saw a lot of people come out for Neil's passing. You know, for
yeah.
his
We was there.
funeral.
We was there. Neil was coming to the gym with us for a little bit, and then he had he doing this he was doing this humanitarian stuff, man. So man, rest in peace to Neil, man. It's already been a year since what happened. That's crazy.
The whole year passed by that song. You know.
Yeah,
Neil was definitely that took a hit, you know what I'm saying? And then with me, you know, I more took a hit like around the time my cousin had passed away. He was a DC artist at the time, but I know, it's tough in the world of that drill music, man. I'm not against it, fully. I'm not against it fully, but I'm not very supportive of it either. That being one of the reasons that I really don't deal with music anymore at all.
yeah,
Because I just don't like the current state the DC rap scene is in right now. Me personally, I'm not
yeah.
really okay with it. he was so talented that he could have really did his thing in other ways other than making that sound of music, because he started out, pure hip hop, you know what I mean? And just watching somebody grow up just actually rapping since 8 years old, 9 years old, watching him as a little boy just kind of annoying and just like pestering me all the time, just rapping, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
see him, make it to any point where he started to get the recognition and get the songs in with guys like Paco Panama. And I know he was in the studio with Fat Trill and a couple other guys. So
yeah,
I miss my cousin Three Commas. I want to thank somebody like Ty Barnett. Ty Barnett was actually very much there for me around that time period.
that's good.
Without I wouldn't have been able. Ty invested in me. He bought me the road mics. He bought me a bunch of the double set of road mics
Yeah,
to make sure I could start doing interviews in the proper way. You
yeah,
know,
that's
I
man. Shout out to
appreciate that.
Top. Yeah,
That
that's
was the day I found out my cousin passed away. I was actually in the car with Ty. We had just left Triple Threat, so
yeah,
yeah, that was tough. You know what I'm saying? But he just gave me that look like, man, just I'm sorry that happened, but just try to, what I mean? Cause it took a hit on me, man. It took a lot out of me, you know what I'm saying? Lose, cause it was like a little brother to me. So it's like you lose somebody like that, it's gonna be hard, you know what I mean? I feel like we all got that. A few family members we've lost along the way, that, you know what I mean? Really do
yeah,
be, defining moments in our lives.
yeah. No, I mean, yeah. I mean, it just, man, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that like that's the thing about when you in the music, you got to be kind of be on the scene a little bit, just to so people get your face out there, get your
I ain't,
name out there. But you never know when somebody gonna act stupid, man.
you know what I mean? He was
Try to stay
coming
out the way.
out, fine, walking his dog, from what the reports say. Um, so it's sad that it went down like that, you know what I mean? But I do know they arrested somebody that was connected to the shooting. Um, but they don't bring my cousin back, so it
Yeah,
happens. You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? It's like, but I don't want to be on the downside too much when I interview, so I might even stop that. Man, I appreciate you, Mike. Thank you, brother.
No problem, bro. No problem. Thanks, like I said, thanks for having me, man. Anytime, man. Just hit me up, man. We'll get it over the goal line.
Okay. All right, Mike.
All right, be safe, son.
You too.